Okay, I wanted to do a follow-up video to the Occupy Wall Street and this new movie that's coming out on October 28th, 2011, called Anonymous. Was Shakespeare a fraud? So I find it quite interesting that this Anonymous Occupy Wall Street initiative started on September 17th, the day of September 17th, 1787, the Declaration of Independence was instituted by the United States. So I thought that was kind of interesting that it happened on that day. But this Anonymous movie that's coming out is simply an example of the power control force, these psychopaths that run the world, and how they use story to manipulate you through movies. Okay, so this whole idea of Shakespeare being a fraud is based on the premise that he never wrote any of his plays. They were actually written by someone else, and he just was the front person to say that he wrote them. And they were plays in which the power control force in those days, the psychopaths, implemented or the story program or the storyboard for what they were going to be rolling out in terms of the psychological manipulation tactics and their propaganda plan. Now, the power control force are major scammers. They're like the mafia, okay? And they're psychopaths. And so it's really important for you to come to understand the scam. And so this is a major scam alert. And the scam alert up to now is that after Saturday, as I mentioned to many of you, not to go down to the Occupy Wall Street, 700 plus people got ticketed because they were protesting on the Brooklyn Bridge. And I said, don't go down to these protests because you're going to get your ass kicked. And I know a lot of people didn't watch my videos, and everybody's necessarily going to listen to me, but this is exactly the kind of things that are going to happen, is that 700 plus people got their ass kicked and got ticketed. Now, if you're protesting about capitalism and the fact that the 1% are hoarding the wealth in this country and around the world, and you're going to go down to Brooklyn Bridge and get ticketed, and get ticketed and fined, you're asking for it. So I'm telling you, people, this is the biggest scam in human history. And maybe I don't think that a lot of people will even pick up on what's really going on here. But all this is, this is Anonymous. So Occupy Wall Street is a leaderless resistance movement with people of many colors, genders, and political persuasions. The one thing we have in common, they say, is that we are the 99% that will no longer tolerate the greed and corruption of the 1%. We are using the revolutionary Arab Spring tactics to achieve our ends and encourage the use of non-violence to maximize the safety of all participants. Listen to that. Use of non-violence to maximize the safety of all participants. People, the reason why this is not on public media is because they know that if they put it on mainstream media, you will sit back and not go and see what's going on. By not showing it on television, it makes you kind of curious, right? And you're going to go out in the streets and want to know what's going on. That's the purpose. There is a purpose behind this. It is not leaderless. They want it to appear not to be leaderless so that these psychopaths can put in their own little puppets, like people like Alex Jones, to lead the resistance. Now, if you tune into Alex Jones, he is part of the power control force. You have to understand, everything in this world is well scripted, well choreographed, well directed, and well played out by the power control force. You have to understand, too, that the United States, if we just look at the United States, that's all right now. the United States were built for the purposes of being destroyed, being dismantled, in order to usher in a new system. So the system that you're currently living in is under the mainstream media umbrella, the mainstream media propaganda, information war, so to say, war on humanity. And the alternative media, the new alternative media, the conspiracy movement area, is the arm that is being used to facilitate the new system that the power control force is wanting to implement. Again, the alternative media stream is the propaganda machine that's being used to implement a new system while the old system is being dismantled. I hope you understand me. And so people like Alex Jones and yes, Amy Goodwin from Democracy Now! And any of the alternative media high profile alternative media sources are under the power control force. They use the alternative media as a controlled opposition, right? So they cover both ends, controlled opposition. Now these guys are very clever. These psychopaths are so clever. And a lot of people say, oh, I don't think they're that clever. Well, they're the 1%. And so they have a lot of the money, and they built the system. They know how it operates. They know how you operate. And so they spend a lot of time and money developing their plans and implementing their plans through algorithms and all kinds of simulations. And they, beef up like little scenarios to find out, if we do this, is this going to work? And, if we do this, will this work? And because you're all on the internet, they can know or have a feel or a sense statistically what people are responding to and how people are responding, and then massage their plan in order to make sure that they're on track. It's very, very, very sophisticated. So what you need to do is, because I want to provide some solutions here, you need to become fearless. So I have this line here. Your job is to become fearless. Why? Because when you become fearless, the power control force cannot touch you. How do you become fearless? You move into the heart, and you learn the technology of your heart, the heart technology, and you learn how your physical vehicle is a technology, and you harness these two technologies, your physical vehicle and your heart technology. The power control force does not want you to know these things. They want you to stay in your left brain prison, the left brain prison system. They don't want you accessing the left and right hemispheres of the brain and integrating with the heart, because when you do that, then you can access more of yourself. Now, I know this may be a little bit out there for some of you, but really at a very, very high level, what's playing out on the everyday goings on our earth plane is really a distraction program. There's a higher order. There's a higher process, evolutionary process that we as a species or humanity is undertaking, and you really need to get wind of that. But hopefully I'll be able to get more people interested in the higher level of things, because as far as I'm concerned, this stuff is just kind of bogus, and I really want to get to, the bigger picture, because what's going on a higher level is like so phenomenal. And they don't want you to know this, so they try to distract you with all this stuff like Michael Jackson trial and getting you out in the streets, and on the premise of going after the capitalists. And I like the thing what they're doing here is, I really want to emphasize, is they want now the focus to be on the Federal Reserve. So they're gonna, Alex Jones is going down to I like Alex Jones, even though he's part of the power control force, he has got to be one of the best actors. I kind of wonder if he's ever going to have a heart attack, though, because he's just so vocal and so theatrical, and he's vibrant, and he's really good. He's a really, really, really good actor. I think he's phenomenal. Anyway, he's spearheading this thing down in Dallas, but he's doing it, and he's also talking about martial law. And this is what this is really about. The more people they can get out in the streets and protesting under the auspice now of this Federal Reserve, the more people they can get on the streets, then they will initiate some false flag, either debt crisis, we'll have the crash when everybody's out in the streets in the next few weeks or so, and or it'll be race-related, some type of race-related issue or something that will trigger or ignite the anger within people, and all hell will break out in the streets, and it will give them an opportunity to implement laws because they're saying, you know, we can't deal with all the people out in the streets now. They're going to start having curfews. So what they're looking for is an opportunity to implement martial law, and they're doing it under the guise of this anonymous platform. And so I just want to leave you with that, but don't get caught. Don't get caught in the Venus flytrap scenario here. Learn to harness the technology of the heart. Learn to harness the technology of your physical vehicle. And I help people to do that. And I have these Journey into the Heart sessions every Saturday. If you're interested, check out my website and get involved, because it's truly, this is a spiritual revolution. And it's about reclaiming your power, reclaiming your sovereignty back, and freedom. And so there's a few things that I want to leave you with that you need to know. And the psychopaths have a battle plan. You need to have a battle plan. And your battle plan is, first and foremost, to become fearless. Because when you become fearless, these psychopaths cannot feed off your energy, because they thrive off low vibration of fear. And they siphon off your energy, and they suck you dry. And when you come to learn the technology of the heart, which is what they don't want you to do, you can start vibrating at a much higher frequency. And when you're vibrating at a higher frequency of love and not fear, they will not touch you. They're not interested. They cannot touch you. And they don't want you to know this. And so I know the truth of this. And that's why I want to share this information with you. Again, it may be a little bit out there for some of you, but for those of you who are interested, this is where we're going. We're moving out of the intellect and into the heart. That's the way for humanity. And so what you need to be doing is learn the characteristics of a psychopath and how they operate. You've got to know how these psychopaths operate. They don't want you to know, but you must know that it is a biological necessity for them to make sure that you do not wake up to the truth of who you are. It's a biological necessity, and they will do everything it takes to make sure that that doesn't happen. And that's well underway. Critical thinking. Learn how to use your mind. Trust your intuition. Don't go out into this lion's den and participate in the scam so that you can be marshaled in under or get ticketed because of you're going down into these places and get ticketed. Don't get suckered in to the deception program. Use your critical thinking, right? Do your inner work. Don't go out and protest. Do the inner work. You do the inner work, you will be a formidable force. And they don't want that to happen. They want to keep you distracted. So I encourage people to go in and do your internal work so that you become emotionally, physically, and mentally stable, because you're going to need to be to support you and your family. Learn what your gifts and talents are. Go out and share your gifts and talents with the world. That's what you're here to do. And I just want to let you know about an email that I got from someone. I ran across and watched a few of your YouTube videos. I was about to participate in the Occupy Wall Street protest, but I agree. It's a PSYOPs operation. That was an email that came in to me. I've got several other emails and comments from people. I really appreciate that this has helped you to clarify things and really get a real sense of what's going on here. The other thing I want to mention to you is learn how to use the technology of the heart. The very thing that the psychopaths don't want you to know about, it will save you. Believe me. I live in the heart 24/7. I know what this is about. They want your soul. They want every single soul on this planet. If you learn the technology of your heart and how it can support you through this transformation and shift and keep yourself out of the low vibration of fear, you cannot be touched. Psychopaths feed off of the low vibration of fear. Prepare yourself. That's the last thing I want to leave you with, and your family as best you can for what's to come. So I'm going to leave you with that. Stay in the heart. Remember, this is a psyops. It's a scam to get you out in the streets. And we'll have to see how things unfold. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. And let me know what you think. Bye.